Hey, it's Andrea here at VW Family Farm, and I'm really excited to be bringing this video to you guys today. I'm trying throughout this year to share with you guys my best tips and my go-to herbs and berries and things out of the garden, my top things that I grow and actually use in my kitchen to keep our family healthy, foods that I grow for medicinal purposes, not just for eating. And this is another one of those today. This is definitely one of my top things, if not the top thing that I would suggest that you grow. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter if you're in an apartment or if you're on a 100-acre farm. You need to be growing this. So I'm going to show y'all some footage of us doing our garlic harvest the other day. That's what this whole video is about, is garlic and why you need it in your life. Garlic is wonderful to eat. It makes things just taste so good, but we are also talking today about using garlic medicinally, and those can be two different things. So I want to share with you guys how to do that and what you need to do to treat something medicinally. But also, I have a super secret part of this video that you may have seen this on your garlic and thought, what in the world is that and what do I do with it? And I want to share that with you guys today, how you can be growing so much more garlic than you thought just by simply using this little obscure piece of the garlic plant. All right, so this is my front porch. We got the honey slinger still sitting here. You can see where the bees cleaned it up. I've got garlic strode from one end of this thing to the other. This is my outdoor cooking station as well. You can see there's just stuff everywhere. But you can also see big bunches of garlic hanging up on my front porch. So we harvested all of this the other day. Not all of this is garlic. This is shallots and garlic, different types of garlic from Hoss Tools as well as Baker Creek. But I want you to focus in on this little pile right here. So these little jewels are called corms. These are called garlic corms. All right, so as you can see on these that were harvested the other day, here are the corms on the outside of the bulbs of garlic. They grow down here outside of it. It's not in there with the rest of the cloves. And look at all of those corms. Those are future bulbs of garlic just waiting to be planted. So how can you turn this into a bulb of garlic? Well, I'm going to tell you. And then we're going to get back to what to do with that amazing garlic to use as a medicine for your family. So you're going to find the main things when you start growing garlic that they struggle with are fungus. So that's why people will take these and they will soak them. And they soak them in a whole variety of things. You will just have to look that up. We actually do not soak ours and have had no trouble with not soaking them. But the fact remains, we're not running a garlic farm either. So you can look that up. People will soak them in things from just water to vinegar to hydrogen peroxide to bleach, all kinds of things before they actually plant this. So look that up, and if you want to, do that. We will just take this and put it in a bucket with some moist potting soil. And then you can cover that bucket with saran wrap to keep the moisture in. And then after a couple months, this little thing is going to start to root and sprout. At that point, you're going to take the rooted and sprouted corm and you're going to plant it in some dirt outside. You're going to pull it up and it's going to look somewhat like a bulb of garlic like these that are smaller. And it's not going to have cloves inside. It's going to be one bulb, almost like a small onion. You're going to take that one bulb that corm produced and you're going to replant that in the dirt. And the next year when you harvest your garlic, your corm is going to have turned into a big bulb full of cloves. And that is what you do with a garlic corm. So back to these I just harvested. Let's get back to them. So you can see I have these spread out on my front porch. I have them hanging. There's a reason for that. Right after garlic is harvested, it needs to be stored in a cool, shady place. Not necessarily inside. My front porch is facing north, so it's a cool area. It stays pretty shady all the time, and it needs to stay in that cool, shady place for about 3 to 4 weeks and cure a bit before you store it permanently. Then you can think about storing it. Some people store it braided, so they take these and they'll braid them with others. I have no tutorial on that because I'm not the best braider and I've never actually stored it that way. And they will trim off the roots as well. Now some people won't braid these, they'll actually cut most of this off. And they'll cut these roots off and they'll go ahead and break it into cloves and store it in mesh bags in their pantry or somewhere. Now, when you get ready to permanently store it, wherever you decide that's going to be, in an outbuilding or wherever, we will store ours that is going to be seed stock that we're going to go ahead and plant the next fall, because that's the next tip. I would plant around November and harvest the next spring / early summer. That's going to vary a bit by your zone. We're in zone 7B, but that is what we do. That's what mainly people do here in the South. But here's the kicker. When you're storing that seed stock, it is fine to put it in an outbuilding where there's some variation of temperatures and things. That's fine. What is going to harm your garlic is if you take your garlic and you're someone who worries about things spoiling, and so you try to pack everything you can into a cooler. That is going to encourage it to sprout, because that's what garlic does. You plant it in the fall, and when the temperatures reach a certain temperature, that's perfect for garlic sprouting. And so you're kind of mimicking that by putting it all in cold storage right away. So don't do that. The middle temperature range is what you want to avoid with garlic. So 40 to mid 50 degrees Fahrenheit is not a good thing for garlic at the beginning, because you're encouraging sprouting. So if it stays a little warmer, that's fine. And then as you get closer to fall and you're ready to store everything for the winter, then you can put it in your cooler, your refrigerator, or some type of walk-in cooler, whatever you have that gets into the 30s. That will store for 6 to 7 months while you're using all that wonderful garlic, waiting on the next year's harvest. Because garlic won't freeze until it gets down to about 21 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's fine to put it in cold storage. Just bump down below that middle range and go ahead and put it in cold storage, not cool storage, and you'll be good to go all winter. So let's talk now about what to do with garlic. Just so we're clear though, I am not a doctor. I don't claim to be. I'm just someone sharing my experience and things I've learned. So do your own research. I always like to say that in any kind of medicinal video, do your own research. But garlic is the #1 thing you should keep in your herbal medicine cabinet. It is great for anything from colds to viruses to bacteria that you want to fight off, to parasites, to inflammation, to it's good for heart disease. There's even research coming out that it fights cancer cells. So garlic is just one of those amazing things that we have been blessed with that you can take in that will help a variety of conditions. So my best advice, if you are new to home remedies and herbal medicine and things, those are the things I'm trying to share with you this summer, is a beginner's guide. Just start with a handful, get to know those, start using them in small quantities and getting to know how they help your body, and then you can branch out from there. If you truly learn this stuff for yourself, it's not a whole lot of guessing and thinking. When something comes up with a family member, you actually know those things. That knowledge is in you, and they will come back to you. I promise. You will think, oh, they need some garlic, or oh, they need some elderberry syrup, or whatever the case may be. Instead of having to try to go research a book every time you want to know, it's in there. So I don't know about you guys, but the time my family and I tend to start getting sick is right around the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, those times. And so that is when garlic is going to come in really handy. You can start before those things, before you start attending those things, and take garlic as a preventative measure and fight off some of those things. I don't know if it's because it's cold and viruses survive better in cold temperatures and maybe heat kills them, or if it's because we're getting together more in closed in confined spaces, and people still tend to go to those type things even when they're sick. So that's a great time to start taking garlic, and it is so simple to take. All you have to do, I'm going to give this to you in the simplest terms. Garlic has two properties to it, and those things are separate in the garlic until you crush the garlic, and then they combine, and then they are at their max effectiveness for about 10 minutes after you have crushed it and combined those two. And so your best way to take garlic is simply crush a clove of garlic and eat it. But number one, have some food on your stomach, because it will cause some heartburn if you don't do that, if you take it on a completely empty stomach. But just eat a clove of garlic. See how that goes for you. Garlic is actually very tasty, and so that's a great way to do it. So let's say eating a clove of garlic sounds really far-fetched to you and you're not ready to go there yet. Well, I encourage you to give it a try. I think you'll be surprised that you can do it. But there's another way to get that garlic in and get the benefits of it, and that is fire cider. I'm going to put out a video this fall on making your own fire cider, but fire cider is a great way to get that garlic in your body. And you guessed it, the primary ingredient in fire cider, or also called Four Thieves vinegar, is raw garlic. This stuff is amazing to just take a shot of it. It makes you feel really good. It's just all kinds of vegetables and vinegar and all kinds of stuff. But it's also really good to add a splash into your homemade tomato juice that you've made from your garden. It's also good in salad dressing, steamed veggies. You can put it on meat. It's good in a whole variety of ways. And like I said, it is made with raw garlic that you mix up, and then it takes about a month of letting this stuff do its magic for it to reach its full potency. So it's good in a whole variety of ways to get that garlic in you. So a couple more important things about taking garlic. If you are taking garlic to prevent something, the recommended dose is 2 to 3 cloves a day. Now, I would not recommend you start out doing that because you really might upset your stomach, but you can build up to that. And if you are trying to treat something that's already going on, you need to probably double that dose. But again, use caution. Listen to your body. If you're having adverse reactions, chill out on the garlic just a bit. Another big important piece of advice is don't do this every day of your life. Herbs and herbal medicine and natural healing and all those things, you do those for certain seasons to prevent or cure or help with certain things that are going on at that time, but you don't try to take like 50 different herbal medicines every day of your life. It's more effective if you don't. So you keep your body guessing, and then when you hit it with the garlic, it ramps up your infection fighting properties, and it's just more effective that way, and it's just the way it's meant to be. And then lastly, I would suggest using fresh garlic, as fresh as possible. Now, your garlic that you're storing from your garden over the winter, I would still consider that fresh garlic. But if you're buying garlic that could be several years old, you have no idea how old it is, just make sure you're getting the freshest possible. That's going to do you the most good. And remember, cooked garlic is not the same. While it is good for you and it tastes wonderful and it's a healthy food, it has destroyed or weakened a lot of its medicinal properties in the cooking process. So remember, fresh, raw garlic. And just finally remember, garlic cannot cure everything. It cannot compensate for a poor diet. So just make sure you're eating lots of fresh fruits and vegetables in season that are as local to your area as you can get. If you're growing them, that is the best. If not, local farmers, those are great to get your food from and support them. It's most likely going to be the healthiest food you can buy. So just treat your body well. And then these remedies just come alongside and treat those occasional things that you need a little help with. And my final thing is this, and I sincerely mean this: don't rely too heavily on herbal or natural medicine and let something serious go for too long. If you try a stint of some of these natural things and you're just getting worse and worse, go to the doctor. There's some things that by catching them early, it could save your life. So don't put it off too long, just trying to be whole hog one way or the other. You don't have to be. Herbal medicine and modern medicine can work hand in hand. There's a time for both. And so don't neglect yourself just feeling like if you go to the doctor, you're a fraud. Because I'm going to tell you, our family goes to the doctor. I want my family to go to the doctor when it's warranted, and I want you to as well. I want you to stay healthy and be around for a long time. I will see you guys later. We love and appreciate you. Thank you for watching this video. If it's your first one to ever see from us, welcome. We hope you'll subscribe and stick around. If you've been here for a while, thank you guys. We hope that if you enjoyed this, you'll share this on your outlets of social media. And we just appreciate you. Leave us a comment below. Do you like garlic? Do you use it? And we'll see you on the next one. God bless.